We have much to get to tonight, including Jerry Seinfeld, who's here in our studio for the first time, which is, wait until you see his teeth. They're perfect. You will be amazed and delighted. Here's some good news, I think. According to a new report from the Washington Post, Americans are sleeping more than we ever have, or at least since scientists started sneaking into our rooms and measuring how much we're sleeping. But we're sleeping more than we have in the last 20 years. As I look around, I see some of you are sleeping right now, right before my eyes. I do think about that. So, people watching at home falling asleep while, we work on the jokes, and then people, not just a few people, probably hundreds of thousands of people. Like, imagine the Rose Bowl and Dodger Stadium and the Cotton Bowl filled to capacity with sleeping people. That's who I'm talking to right now. And it's rude. It really. Hey, speaking of sleepy, Donald Trump, I guess Teddy Roosevelt is tired from all the winning because he nodded off in court again today. CNN reported Trump is slumped back in his chair with his eyes closed, which is what some call sleeping. Why is this not on TV, by the way? I want to see the drool. The good news for Trump is that one of his family members finally showed up at court today. The bad news is it was Eric. Eric Trump attended his dad's porn star hush money trial today, which in the Trump family it's as close as you get to playing catch in the yard. But here's a question. If Eric was on trial, do you think Trump would be there in court for him? Best case scenario, he pulls up in a limo, yells witch hunt out the window, and drives back home for a taco bowl. The first witness of the day today was Michal Cohen's former banker, Gary Farro, who, according to this courtroom sketch, I've not seen him in person, but looks like a Lego man who came to life and grew ears. But the Judge Merchan, today found Trump to be in contempt of court for violating his gag order 9 times. He fined Trump $1,000 apiece for a total of $9,000, which that should shut him up. That's Trump spends $9,000 at the Wendy's drive-thru. I have to say, honestly, even though I'm not on Trump's side, I don't think it's fair. This trial is about the fact that he paid a woman to be quiet. Now, if he isn't quiet, he has to pay them. It makes no sense. They're using his thing against him. It's like Jesus, a carpenter who they nailed to a cross. I mean, think about it. Read about it in your Trump brand Bibles, okay? The judge also told Trump that if he continues to violate the gag order, he might lock him up. Melania was like, don't let the judge tell you what to do. Keep violating. Be a man. The Washington Post has published a story that says Trump is so furious about this trial, he's too livid to fundraise, which is very livid. I mean, that's livid, la vida loca, livid level lividing. Trump is annoyed, he's angry, he's flatulent, and worst of all, he's cold.
So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold icebox for 8 hours, 9 hours or so. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go into the icebox now.
Well, that's where leftover meatloaf belongs. It's Incidentally, the icebox is also what he calls Melania's bedroom. I have to say, though, I don't understand this. If Trump is cold, why not add layers? Is that not masculine? Why not bundle up?
So we have another day of court in a freezing courthouse. For one purpose, I believe. They don't seem to be able to get the temperature up. It shouldn't be that temperature in a freezing courthouse. And that's fine. That's just fine.
Put some yarn on. It's fine. One of the bigly talking points around the crazy sphere has been about the judge not letting Trump go to his son Barron's high school graduation next month. Even though the judge hasn't ruled on that subject at all, the MAGA media was absolutely outraged.
As you know, my son is graduating from high school, and it looks like the judge will not let me go through the graduation of my son, who's worked very, very hard.
It's always tough when you can't go to your son's graduation.
I think it's outrageous that the court can't allow him a day to go see one of the most significant events, in his son's life.
So he can't go to Barron's graduation. Seems a little severe.
He can't go to Barron Trump's high school graduation.
Donald Trump won't be able to go to Barron's high school graduation. Could you believe this, Judge?
You're not even allowing a father, never mind a former president, but a father attend his son's graduation.
It's absolutely ludicrous. It shows his bias. It shows actually his hatred towards Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, today the judge ruled that he will cancel court on May 17th so Trump can go to Barron's high school graduation, which is funny because now Trump has to go to Barron's high school graduation. It's like he woke up from a dead sleep in court and yelled, "Objection!" One of Trump's lawyers on this case is a guy named Will Scharf. He has been making the rounds on the news channels, and you can very quickly see why, because Will Scharf is a man whose smile absolutely lights up a room.
He's also a Republican candidate for Missouri Attorney General. Mr. Scharf, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Will Scharf. He is on the legal team representing former President Trump.
Will Scharf, in North Carolina, Lieutenant Governor.
Let's not talk about it. Will Scharf. Will Scharf, former federal prosecutor.
Will Scharf.
Former federal prosecutor, Will Scharf.
Will Scharf, he's also a Republican candidate.
Mr. Scharf, good to see you again.
He's the first human attorney to be generated by AI. Oh, we're getting more details on what former years of Trump might look like, courtesy of Trump himself. He sat for an interview with Time magazine where he laid out his priorities for a second term, and it's quite a his comp, I tell you. Trump says, all true, what I'm about to inform you. He says he would carry out a deportation operation to remove more than 11 million people from the country. He says he would use the military to build migrant detention camps. He would let red states monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would, at his personal discretion, withhold funds appropriated by Congress. He would fire any U.S. attorney who wouldn't carry out his order to prosecute. He's weighing pardons for everyone who attacked the Capitol January 6th. He said he might not come to the aid of an ally in Europe or Asia if he felt that country wasn't paying enough. He would gut the civil service. He would close the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office and staff his administration only with those who believe the election was stolen from him. And when they asked about dictatorship, he said, "I think a lot of people like it." And he's on the cover of Time magazine. He should be on the cover of Doing Time magazine. This is Time's Maniac of the Year. And while Chocolate Mussolini is laying out his terms for surrender, these insane proclamations that, coming from any other candidate, would set off the air raid sirens, his buddies in the right-wing media are focused on this.
Here's the President of the United States, the man with the nuclear codes at his fingertips, grappling with a bowl of lettuce. He can barely feed himself. Let's watch this for a second. This isn't slowed down. This isn't edited. This is Joe trying to eat a bite of salad. Just watch. Just watch. This man has a nuclear code. Look. That's the President of the United States. The man who's going to push back on Russia, China, North Korea. Are you kidding me? He can't even take a bite of his own salad.
At least he's had a bite of a salad. What is going on here? Is Joe Biden really doing such a great job that you have to focus on his croutons? I mean, by the way, congratulations to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce signed a 2-year contract extension with the Kansas City Chiefs. He is now the highest paid tight end in the NFL. Deservedly so. Its new contract is worth $34 million, or as Taylor Swift calls it, gum money. Can you imagine being in a relationship where you make $34 million, you're still the broke boyfriend? Another weird thing about dating Taylor Swift is you could be one of the great players of all time, and this is the reaction you get to your contract extension. This baby, his eyes full of tears. He's so baby girl, cutie pie, sweet boy, pookiest pookie. I'm not sure if he's a football player or a kitten, but meanwhile, Taylor Swift is having a good week, too. Taylor Swift is now the first artist in history to occupy all of the top 14 spots on Billboard's Hot 100 list. She has 14 songs in the top 14 about how much people don't like her. 29 of the 31 tracks on her new album are in the top 50, which is very sad for the 2 tracks that aren't in the top 50. I feel like Taylor Swift at this point, if she wanted to, could win the Kentucky Derby. Here in California, we have shenanigans afoot. Lawmakers in our state have introduced a bill that would make it easier for workers to not work from home. This bill, AB 2751, intends to create a better work-life balance for employees by establishing what they call a right to disconnect rule. This means employers could be fined for calling, texting, or emailing outside of work hours. Guillermo, could you imagine if it was against the law for me to, every night I text Guillermo a little angel emoji before he goes to bed? I could actually be fined for that.
No, Jimmy, no.
No, it's one of those weird ideas that make people wonder what's going on in California. And while our Governor Gavin Newsom waits for the bill to get to his desk, he's busy working on new propositions that actually benefit our state.
A message from the 40th Governor of California.
Hey, it's your boy, the Governor. What's this hella tight state's #1 natural resource? Natural resources. A yes vote on Prop 18 will protect them. Prop 18 will also protect California's historic monuments, like the pool where Phoebe Cates took off her bikini top in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. From now on, that's a federally protected wetland. This bill also bans stoves of all kinds to help Californians transition to a statewide, raw, vegan diet. With a special exemption for the In-N-Out by LAX that you hit after flying back from a sick weekend of shredding Big Pow and Telluride. 18 promises that by 2032, 80% of the cars on California's roads will be required to run off of upcycled macadamia nut oil. Carpools to Burning Man will be mandatory for everyone. From the Nepo bronies to the Trustafarian Molly dealers, to the tech bro narcs who make everyone pretty uncomfortable on the playa. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. This bill also institutes a voluntary buyback program for truck owners to replace their gas guzzlers with clean-burning Pride floats. Drought-resistant lawns are not enough. We need drought-resistant families, where both children and all 3 parents can survive without water, instead relying on reverse osmosis for life-giving hydration. Finally, Prop 18 will protect LA's skate parks from falling victim to greedy community activists who want to see them turned into green spaces and affordable housing. Not on my solar-powered watch. All right. Now who wants to see some sick Ow! Come on, Governor. Better than this.
Paid for by the content moderators of Phoebe Cates' WikiFeed page.